So here's one of the eyelets that I made to add on to my little armed dragon. So when we add our eyelids, the first thing that we want to do is play with the positioning a little bit, because depending on where we place it, we can really change the expression of our dragons. All right, so I'm going to give you a couple of examples here. So I highly recommend that you get some little sewing pins to help you with placement of your pieces if you don't have any yet, especially for the eyelids, because it really helps to see what your dragon is going to look like before you actually do any sewing. So with these eyelids, I arranged them so that they overlap the top of the eye a little bit, and there's only a slight curve in them. And when you do it this way, your dragon is going to look a little bit angry. So this gives them a bit of a fierce dragon look. Now let's try something else. Okay, now for this version, the eyelids are pinned on more towards the back side of the eyes, and they don't overlap it so much, they more curve around it. See, they don't come as far forward. The angry eyelids came out to about here, so you can see how I turned it a little bit, and this kind of gives it a bit of a cuter expression. It's a little hard to see with all of the tails there. For this one, I'm going to do the cuter eyelids because I'm actually making an axolotl dragon. If you haven't noticed, we're missing horns, we're missing the ears, we're missing the nostrils. I got a little tail fin on here, so I turned this one into an axolotl. Alright, so when I try to sew the eyelids on, I'm going to use my long ending tail here, and with the pins there, it really helps me to see where I need to sew. So I'll go in right here at that bottom pin where the end is attached, and I'm going to come up so that I can grab the outside loop of this next stitch here. So I just go underneath basically one stitch, you can see that there, and I come back up. Right. And then I'm going to go up through one loop of that next stitch. And I'm actually going to go down one loop of the next stitch over to work my way back down into the head. And I'm going to bring my needle up over on this end where the other end of the eyelid is going to attach to the head. When you pull, make sure not to pull too tight. Now I'm going to take this tail and I'm just going to loop it around the stitch right here on the end, just one of the loops. I'm going to go back into the head at that same spot where I came up. And I'm going to go back over and come up. I'm going to go back over and come up where I missed one of the chains right here. I didn't work through that chain, so I'm going to bring my hook up, my needle up there, grab one loop of that stitch that I did not secure yet, I'm going to go down in through the stitch next to it, one loop back into the head, and then I'm going to come up at the end right there where the end of the eyelid is. I'm going to lift this up a little bit just to make sure I'm not pulling it too tight. So here we are, my axolotl buddy.